All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for being late. The front door was open and the front door was left open, and a fly made its way inside of the house. A little fly made its way inside of the house, and I was downstairs trying to do my best Terminator impression, and it's still downstairs somewhere. So, pardon me if I'm late because I was trying to find that. But taking a break. I will go back downstairs and find it before I start Sakamoto Days. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? I see you, Kohagen. I see you, Ogata. Let's begin. Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here. Welcome back to more One Piece. In the last chapter of One Piece, Imu showed their power. Their power to dominate and take over people and literally turn them into living devils, literally turn them into demons. Not only that, able to just show off so much power. Not only showcasing that Imu clearly has Conqueror's Haki, but also showcasing powers that, frankly, don't even seem like they're even in the ballpark of being a devil fruit of any kind. It's just purely esoteric in nature, demonic in nature. And now the One Piece Viz page wants to make things difficult because I want to read the newest chapter. So what resulted was Dory and Bragi were completely taken over and they were turned into demons, along with a great deal of the giants that were with them. And now Imu says, like, okay, time to see how they can function as mercenaries. So now Imu is taking Dory and Bragi, who have been turned into demons by them, and a whole bunch of giants off to basically try and kill Beard Hill Jarl. So let's see what happens in this chapter. And apparently Kohagen says that we're going on break next week. Let's see what happens in chapter 1151. I get the idea. Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 35. I thought the pilgrimage was done, but Volume 35, Sumo Tourney and Hakumai, hurling Urashima's big brother Yokozuna Sukune. And Kawamatsu's in the background just watching this happen as Yamato just casually tosses a sumo wrestler way bigger than he is. Okay, so the pilgrimage continues. All right, the pilgrimage continues. Are we going to see the entire journey of Yamato going throughout all of the regions of Wano? I wonder. But let me make sure that my audio is good. It is. It's not skipping out. All right, back to it. And then we get Oimo and Kashi as he's going, wait, captains, you mustn't do this. Chief Jarl is the world's oldest warrior. He's a hero of legend. And mind you, after Imu turned Dory and Bragi into demons, they grew in size comparable to Loki. But we don't know how big Loki is to the average giant, the size of like Dory and Bragi. We've looked up to him for our entire lives, haven't we? Yes, that's right, Kashi. The warrior we once admired has grown old and feeble, so it's time to force him into retirement. And then Dory screams, and then we'll be the kings of Elbaf. There's no need for the gold of Elbaf anymore. Bring about the age of war. We'll build an era defined by the ruthless and mighty. So they've just embraced the evil. You guys never talked like that before. What's gotten into you? Stay back, Kashi. They were flipped over and turned into different people entirely. Now they're like demons, dark and twisted all the way to the core. It can't be. And then it shows one giant as the area Thorman. Thorman! As Thorman looks like he's about to be turned as well. Oh no, I've been trapped between them. And it's like the view of those who have been turned into demons are the black pieces of shogi, and those who haven't been turned are the white pieces of shogi. There's like a little image here that seems to facilitate that. No, wait! I don't want to turn evil! Don't flip me over! And then the piece that signifies Thorman turns to black as Kashi screams out, and Thorman turns into a demon. Ah, what an incredible feeling! No! Thorman! Not you too! Retreat for now! The tides have turned against us! The enemy took out Gabin, it seems! Huh? No, it can't be. And then we get Ripley who chimes in. Wait for me, Kowloon. Is that true about Mr. Ya? Mama's gonna save you! Ooh, Ripley! Then we cut back to Branch Route 8, and the kids are all sad. They're not saying anything. They're all sad, and apparently they start dreaming. Demons! The giant pirates have turned into demons! And all of the kids are starting to think of demons in their dreams. And because of the nightmare hole that Killingham has created, nightmare demons from the kids start to come out of the hole. Yeah, they start to come out of the hole. And then we get Killingham going, get to your feet. You are not actually dead. And one of the sleep tids that had its head completely separated, it attaches its head back. And it starts to move along with the nightmare demons, the nightmare demon sleep tids, and Killingham, who has apparently... Hold on. Yo, did Killingham go into his hybrid form? Because it looks like he's turned half of his... He's gone centaur. You know, Cheeling. He's gone centaur Cheeling. That's right. Get up, be reborn. There's no waking Elba from this nightmare. Oh! We see Killingham's real face. And we see Killingham's real face. Now things are really cooking. With the Great One here, there's no need to hold back. Rampage to your heart's desire, my sleep deeds. Remember, Elbaf, you created these monsters yourself. And we see Saint Remo Shifu Killingham's real face. Dark hair, eyes with dark spiky eyelashes under his eyes, and he's got sharp teeth. And he's in his hybrid form, Saint Killingham, Dragon Fruit, mythical type model Kirin. Man Beast form. So we've seen, so wait a minute. If this, his bottom half of his body, is the Man Beast form, what do we call the form he had when his upper torso and head was akin to that of a Kirin? Along with a tail. He has different versions of a man-beast form. He's got one that changes his head and gives him a tail, and one that gives him like a full centaur-like body near the bottom half. Then we cut back to Nami. Are there even more of them now? Looks to me like things have gotten pretty hairy. And then Usopp, seeing his masters, going, Master Dory! Master Brage! What are you doing to your homeland? Wake up, you guys! Why do you look like that? Where's your sense of pride? And then we get the other giants, who some of them were knocked out by Imu's conquerors. They still see some of the kids. Darn it, we can't save the children. Now I understand why Saul wasn't able to stop them. The children are being guarded by monsters and invisible thorns. And then we get one of the moms goes, Wake up, Brent! Ylva! I don't got time to be passing out. I'm coming to save you, boy! Just do it! Then we get Somers. How far shall we go, Great One? And Imu doesn't say anything, as Imu is literally escorting all of these sleep tids and all of these giants. And then we get Killingham going, the playing board is entirely in our color. And then... Oh no, this is still Killingham going,
they will eventually crumble under the weight of their own personal demons.
And then Emu, still in control of Gunko's body, goes, "Continue until it breaks."
Until what breaks?
The heart of Elbaf. This country would have been subjugated years ago, if not for Harold's miserable failure. Really? What did King Harold do that made it so that Elbaf continued as it has until now? But now we go many minutes earlier, Underworld, and we have Chopper and Scopper Gavin falling through the trees down to the Underworld.
Ah! I didn't think this through! I really didn't think this through! But calm down, Chopper. You got this! You can do this! Make sure he doesn't die!
And so Chopper, cartoonishly, starts running on the air to get ahead of Scopper Gavin as he screams,
Yeah! Good point!
and Chopper falls into the Underworld. Ooh! And then we finally.
If you want answers, then beg me for them, Harudin.
You killed my father, Loki!
He was my father too. And yet that didn't stop you from ending his life.
Knock it off, Harudin! Hey, Chopper just fell down from above. Huh? I heard something. Did you see him?
Nah.
And then we have Loki eaten.
True, it does seem like something just came down from above. It was beyond the mountains.
Huh? Say, how did I know it was Chopper? Someone else is with him. They're weakened. How did Luffy tell immediately that it was Chopper who just fell? Even though he was so far away you couldn't actually see him. How did... Luffy? How did you know it was Chopper? Like, Luffy just says, hey, Chopper just fell down from above. Huh? Say, how did I know it was Chopper? How did he know? Did this Joker's observation Haki just subtly get an upgrade? What was that? Huh? Say, how did I know it was Chopper? Someone else is with them, they're weakened. Then with Sanji.
That sounds pretty bad then. Did they fall all the way from the sun world above?
We gotta go search for them. So that's Loki, Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro respectively.
Hey, Gert and Goldberg, you got anything on your wish list? Like someone said,
this is Loki going,
hey, Gert and Goldberg, you got anything on your wish list? Like someone's head or some jewels or...
Oh sure, we got wishes.
But we're not unlocking your cuffs, Loki.
Darn. Bunch of goody two-shoes. Hello? Look. Ah! Shaggy, listen, I'm busy right now. Call back later. Don't worry, it won't take long. As a matter of fact, I'm busy too. Just one thing.
Because mind you, Loki's trying to keep it secret that he and Beard Hill Jarl have been talking to each other.
Fine, just keep your voice down. I wasn't able to tell you earlier, but I will be unable to call you for a while, I think. Huh? What do you mean? At first, I found it frightening, but the more you and I talked, the more our conversations became a source of solace to me. So I wanted to express my gratitude. Hey, what's going on? Don't tell me! Are you in danger again somehow? I'm fine, don't worry. Where are you?
And mind you, he's yelling and he's trying to yell and whisper at the same time.
Don't tell me. Are you in danger again somehow? I'm fine, don't worry. Where are you? I just wanted to say thank you for everything. Wait! Hey, Shaggy!
Gotcha. And then there's nothing.
Darn it. What are you looking at?
I'm glad you to know that you have a friend to keep you company here in the lonely underworld.
Don't you dare tell anyone!
And then we get Harudine and company running up right next to Gerd because Gerd was kind of paying attention. I don't think she put two and two together that it was Beard Hill Jarl who said that. But then Harudine runs up.
Hey, Gerd, prepare your medical supplies. Mr. Ya's hurt really bad.
Huh?
And then we get Luffy who goes, I guess everyone loves this guy, huh? You're lucky that Chopper was here to save you. Good job, Chopper.
What? Oh, gosh. You don't need to thank me, you jerks.
Oh, he literally just says that right underneath him.
You can't butter me up like that, you jerks.
And then he just starts dancing, just like Netflix Chopper did recently.
You can't butter me up like that, you jerk.
What? This old guy? He was on the King of the Pirates crew? He sailed with Roger and Rayleigh? Ah, that's when Luffy finds out.
He and Dark King Rayleigh were known as the wings of the King of the Pirates. I assumed he was the third strongest on the crew.
What? And then Zoro chimes in.
So he was a huge pirate, huh? That would explain why he was so tough.
And it means he knows Shanks! And then Harudine chimes in.
Look, he's trying to say something. What is it, Mr. Ya? Second strongest.
Wow, he's really trying to say that he was stronger than Rayleigh. This dynamic reminds me of like Zoro and Sanji's dynamic. Gavin is like, I was the second strongest. Like, as if to say that him and Rayleigh weren't neck and neck, but I was stronger than Rayleigh.
Second strongest.
He really seems fixated on that detail.
It's good to see you awake again, Mr. Ya. How could this have happened to you?
Oh, about that. There's huge trouble going on up there, Luffy. Listen up, everyone. The children were taken hostage by a couple of bad guys, and nobody can do anything to stop them. There are giant monsters rampaging around
and all of a sudden, Haki can be felt. Haki can be felt all the way from beneath the sun world down to the underworld, and that immediately catches Gabin's attention because he goes,
no, that Haki.
Because Gabin Hold up. Gabin recognizes Imu's Haki. Imu's Haki. He recognizes it? He recognizes it?
No, that Haki.
And Sanji and Zoro all feel it.
Huh?
Even he's all like, what? And then all the rest of the giants are like, ah! And Road is screaming, ah! Because this Haki is so potent, everyone can feel it. And some of them are even terrified. Even Gerd is all like, my word. And then Harudine goes,
everyone back on the lift. We're returning to the sun world. Elbaf is in danger.
And then Luffy, feeling this Haki too, goes, save your breath, Chopper. I get the idea. And then Loki, who's smiling, goes,
whose preposterous Haki is that? Duga! Looks like you're going to need me after all.
To be continued. Well, we covered our bases of everyone learning what was going on. We covered our bases. I just realized that what your Kingdom Killingham voice reminded me of, the King of Flan from Courage. By Fantasy Flan. By Fantasy Flan. By Fantasy Flan. Some of the things from Courage the Cowardly Dog would just play in your mind over and over again, and it sticks with you. Like Fred. And I've been naughty. Or return the slab. Or suffer my curse. But yeah. It's almost like the Go. It's almost like the Go board from Onigashima. It's just like that. I'm guessing the teeth are a part of his hybrid form, like Kaido's fangs and not because he's a fish man. But does a Keating, does that have sharp teeth? Does it have sharp teeth? Okay. What a chapter. So let's go over this really quick, because then I want to take a break so I can find that fly downstairs before Fu gets here. I will kill that thing. So we start with Oimo and Kashi trying to reason with Dorian Bragi, but Dorian Bragi have been fully taken over because of this Domi Reversi, this diabolical covenant. No, this Domi Reversi, diabolical covenant was expending life in exchange for immortality, because it shows here that Dory's hand is still destroyed. It hasn't regenerated yet. It's just still floating away from the rest of his arm, and it's just, holding onto his little buckler that he's got. But they're still making their way forward. And then we get another giant, Thorman, who gets Domi Reversi'd, and he gets turned into a demon, and he joins with the rest of the giants, who are just steadily destroying the forest they're walking through. I didn't make note of this, but I'm making note of it now. They're just destroying the forest that they're walking through. And all the other giants who managed to get up are trying to go after the kids and as well, because Ripley joins in on some of the giants running. She catches up to them and hears that, Gabin has been, knocked down into the underworld, and she's worrying about her son. She's saying, like, Mama's gonna save you. So all the kids, they've been rendered asleep again, and Killingham is using the constant cries of demons running wild throughout Elbaf to essentially make them dream of nightmare demons to come out of the nightmare hole, and thus join with the rest of the sleeptids. And then we see Killingham, who is in his man-beast form, and we see Killingham's actual face. Like his actual real face. And he starts to join up with Emu and everyone else, and the Straw Hats are still tied, mind you. They're still very much tied down. As the giants are making their way towards the village where Beard Hill Jarl is. And then we get some of the moms, like some of the mom giants, they're making their way to try and save some of their kids as well. Not only that, but apparently Emu is leading all of these sleeptids, all of these demon giants, and pretty much the rest of the Holy Knights saying, we'll continue until it breaks. Essentially, because Killingham is saying, like, the playing board is entirely, how far shall we go, Great One? The playing board is entirely in our color. They will eventually crumble under the weight of their own personal demons. And then Imu says, continue until it breaks. Until what breaks? The heart of Elbaf. This country would have been subjugated years ago if not for Harold's miserable failure. And then Gabin falls into the underworld with Chopper, and Chopper manages to save him by using Guard Point. Luffy somehow realizes that it's exactly Chopper who fell down. Not someone fell down, but he was able to tell it was Chopper who fell down. So something's going on there, because the word did. Like, how did I know it was Chopper? So that's probably going to come into play at least some point. And everyone's just chilling and eating. So while that's going on, Loki listens to Jarl say, like, thanks for everything. And, Loki's trying to get his attention, trying to find out what's going on without letting anyone know that he knows of Jarl and they've been speaking to each other. So that's when Luffy finds out that Gabin, old man Mr. Ya, was actually the one of the people that was sailed with Roger. And though it's noted that he was like I assume he was his third strongest on the crew, and Ya just starts fidgeting and he says, I was the second strongest. Essentially saying that it was Roger, him, and Rayleigh, whereas Rayleigh would probably say it was Roger, himself, and then Gabin. So they find out what's going, the bottom line, they find out what's going on. Emu's haki rockets and ricochets and cascades down into the underworld where everyone feels it. Some of them are filled with fear, the strong, like the monster trio, and all the ones who are ready to fight, they feel that too. And now it's time for them to go up from the underworld. It's time! Also, Hofster, good to see you. When I saw Killingham's human parts, oh no, he's hot! I'm pretty sure that's what quite a few people must have thought of Killingham. But real quick, y'all know I love to read the synopses of One Piece when they come out. Has progress been made? Yes! Excellent. All right. Long summary. Kashi begs the transformed captains to not kill Jarl because he is the world's oldest living giant and a hero of legend. But Baraki says it is because he has become so old now that they must kill him. And Dory announces that once they do, the both of them will take their places as Elbaf's new kings and bring about an era of war and ruthlessness. The giants try to contain the two of them, but some of them get transformed into demons because of how close they are to the two, prompting the rest to retreat. Ripley overhears that Gabin has been taken down by the enemy and starts rushing to her son's side. Unfortunately, the captive children are asleep once again, so Killingham, now in his hybrid form, can manifest more MMAs. Sleeptids. He also starts reviving the ones that were downed previously, saying that now that Emu has taken the stage, he has no need to hold back. The captive Straw Hats watch as the country descends into chaos, while the giants continue to try and save the children, with some of their mothers stepping in. Somers asks Emu how long will this carnage last, and Emu declares they will go until the country's spirit breaks. Also adding that if Harold hadn't messed up in the past, they would have conquered the entire country by now. A few minutes earlier to what we just witnessed at the beginning of this chapter. So that means that Luffy and company are already going to be on their way up around the same time that most of this is happening. Because this is all the stuff that we're witnessing was a few minutes earlier. A few minutes, Chopper and Gabin falling down and telling everything to Luffy was a few minutes earlier. A few minutes earlier, Chopper curses himself for jumping off after Gabin without a plan, but he manages to get ahead of him and use his guard point and save Gabin from the fall. Elsewhere in the underworld, Loki tells Harudin to beg him for answers regarding their father, but Harudin refuses. Luffy then senses that Chopper has landed somewhere, but even he doesn't know how he could tell it was him. There's something about that, okay? Let's just keep that in mind for a while. If we're going on break, let's keep it in mind that Luffy was able to tell that Chopper fell down into the underworld somehow, but he doesn't even know how. So either this is something that deals with observation hockey, or maybe it's something else entirely. Ooh, the conversation with Gabin. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Another hockey lesson, another power up for the monster trio, no less. But let me see. Loki tells Harudin to beg him for answers regarding their father, but Harudin refuses. Luffy then senses that Chopper has landed somewhere, but even he doesn't know how he could tell it was him. Loki also senses them, and the group decides to go out and find them while Gerd and Goldberg stay to watch over Loki. Loki tries to convince the two of them to unlock his chains, but they refuse, just as Mosa contacts Loki. Mosa tells Loki that they won't be able to call him for a while, but they will tell him that their conversations always helped him, which they wanted to thank Loki for. Mosa's words make Loki think they are in danger, but Mosa denies it as they hang up, leaving Loki worried. Gerd, who heard everything, tells Loki she's happy he found a friend to keep him company while stuck in the underworld, but Loki tells her not to say a word about it. Harudin and Luffy's group return, and the former tells Gerd to get her medical supplies ready. Luffy tells Gabin that he's fortunate that Chopper was the one to save him. Who the heck is Mosa? Mosa is the nickname of Beard Hill Jarl. If the appearance of the Den Mushi for Beard Hill Jarl is any consolation, then I imagine that he's speaking to Beard Hill Jarl himself. Because it's just a giant beard coming out of the face of this Den Mushi. But it's the secret nickname that he gives him. Harudin and Luffy's group return, and the former tells Gerd to get her medical supplies ready. Luffy tells Gabin that he's fortunate that Chopper was the one to save him, but just as he is finally told Gabin's true identity as a member of the Roger Pirates, just as he is finally told Gabin's true identity as a member of the Roger Pirates, which leaves him stunned. The Giants also tell the Straw Hats that Gabin and Rayleigh were considered Roger's wings, and that Gabin was the third strongest of them, with Zoro coming to understand how Gabin was so strong when they fought him earlier, and Luffy figures that Gabin does indeed know Shanks. Gabin does wake up, to which he retorts he considers himself the second strongest, and Chopper informs everyone about what is transpiring in the Sun World. The group then senses Imu's immense burst of haki, which leaves Gabin worried, and Harudin orders his crew to get back on the lift to return to the Sun World, with Luffy prepared to join in the counterattack. Loki, meanwhile, laughs at the immense haki they just felt means they're going to have to set him free after all. So, quick references. The members of the giant warrior pirates that have been turned into demons continue their rampage. Kachi tries in vain to convince the captains Dory and Brocky to return to their senses, but to no avail. Kashi watches as another member of his crew, Thorman, is transformed into a demon. Killingham decides to unleash the full force of his MMAs now that Imu has arrived, as there is no longer any need to hold back. Ripley learns of Gabin's earlier defeat as she prepares to save Colin. The captive Straw Hats watch in horror as Usopp is worried about Dory and Broggy as they have abandoned their sense of pride in their current state. Imu reveals they plan for the chaos to continue until the heart of Elbaf has been subjugated. Imu claimed that Elbaf would have been subjugated years ago had it not been for King Harold's miserable failure. And oddly enough, when I click on the link that says miserable failure, apparently that miserable failure refers to Loki. Because King Harold's miserable failure, the link to miserable failure just goes straight to Loki. So is Imu insinuating that the reason why Elbaf couldn't be completely subjugated was because of Loki? Huh. Interesting. We'll have to see if this is true. A flashback of events from the last minutes is shown. Chopper was able to save Gabin from falling to his death with guard point as they both land in the underworld, which Luffy's group locates after Luffy senses him. Luffy learns that Gabin was a member of the Roger Pirates. Luffy's group learns about the situation in the Sun World. Harudin orders for the new giant warrior pirates to prepare for them to return to the Sun World so they can save Elbaf. And Loki, after sensing Imu's haki, suggests that they will need his help to deal with the current situation. So that's where we are with One Piece. So now, the time maybe Harold was monsterized and Loki defeated him. It's interesting. And that's only if it's to be believed that the miserable failure by Harold is indeed Loki. Because, with these, wikis and stuff, it's subject to... It's subject to, people editing stuff, but pretty much the majority of the time, it tends to be, official information for One Piece. So if this is true, then I really need to know about the day that King Harold died and why Loki is the way that he is. If it is indeed true that Loki was considered the miserable failure that prevented the giants from being subjugated years ago, then we need to know Loki's backstory more than anything. Now, I know we got Luffy and company about to make their way back up to the Sun World, and that means... Ooh, you know what I just realized? If Luffy goes up there, and he goes Gear 5, and Imu sees him, after Joy Boy not being destroyed all the way back on Egghead, I wonder what Imu's going to do after witnessing Nika in front of his eyes. Because Luffy and company, they're about to go up to the Sun World now. And if Imu sees the object of his ire, someone that he needed to be killed all the way back in Onigashima to prevent the awakening, and then of that person who was just manhandling a whole bunch of elders and dealing with Kizaru at the same time, and was failed to be stopped by the elders and literally everyone, to the point where Saturn literally lost his life on account of Luffy getting away. This very individual showing up. There's gonna be collateral damage. Because we all know how angry Imu was. So upset that Luffy got away, that Nika got away, that Joy Boy, the second coming of Joy Boy, got away, that he killed an elder for it. So imagine I feel like when Imu sees Joy Boy once again, when he sees Luffy, when he sees Joy Boy, he's gonna behave the same way All For One did as soon as he saw All Might waiting for him during the ending half of My Hero Academia. Just gonna be like, oh, there's Joy Boy. Now's the opportunity to eradicate him once and for all. What Saturn failed to do, I will finish. I'm just making an assumption here, okay? I'm just making an assumption here. But the very person that he didn't have any qualms murdering and killing, as if murdering and killing are two separate things. Murdering an elder for is literally there on the island now. And Imu is personally chauffeuring and watching these giants rampage all throughout Elbaf in a bid to kill Chief Jarl. So if Luffy gets up there, and the thing is, we're only, I thought that what's happening now would be the crux of chaos. Now I'm just thinking about what's going to happen when Luffy and company actually get up there. Things are going to get even more chaotic than before. Once Luffy gets up there, the insanity will start. Not now, which is already chaotic. I don't want to be the guy to come into defense of Saturn, but full on knowing Saturn's full capabilities, I can't see how Imu thought Saturn would actually be able to pull that off. And we haven't seen Loki's devil fruit form yet. We don't even know what the devil fruit is. We don't even know if it's a Zoan. We don't know if it's a Logia, because it's described as a legendary devil fruit. We've heard of special types, but not really much of legendary devil fruits. We haven't really heard of those. I think Imu blames Saturn for the robot being on Egghead. True, but that's not the reason that I feel like Imu still holds Saturn responsible for allowing Joy Boy to get away, simply because Saturn was there first and failed to do anything about it. While the rest of the elders were sent all the way back to Marijois, Saturn was the only one still left behind, despite everything that happened. And still Luffy got away despite Saturn still being there. So I feel like that played a part into Saturn's forced pink slip. But we don't even know what type of devil fruit Loki has. Paramecia, Zoan, Logia, we don't even know what it is. So that's the unknown part. And mind you, we can't tell what it is because he still got one singular cuff on. And he was willing to set fire to Elbaf just to prove he has the strength to destroy Elbaf. But now we're in a very compromising situation where Loki's strength may be needed. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That part of the mural that shows Joy Boy, Nika the sun god, and Loki and a whole bunch of other races going up against this dark demon figure. Is that about to happen now? Because Emu is there. Now, mind you, Emu is still in control of Gunko's body. Emu is still in control of Gunko's body. So I can't say that the moment where the sun god, where Nika and Loki are going to fight Emu correlates to Emu in control of Gunko's body, or Emu directly fighting them in the big clash that is essentially going to decide the fate of the world itself. But Loki and Nika about to fight Emu in some sort of way of fashion? That's about to happen. We're about to be and that's only if they let him go. We're about to be put in the situation where Loki and Luffy are about to are potentially going to fight side by side to take on Emu. So that part of the mural is about to start. That section of the mural for the present day is about to start. Okay. So, and we're going on break. We're going on break as Luffy and company prepare to finally leave the underworld. What else can I say? Sorry if I feel like a little bit tired. It was a long morning. I'll take a short break before I get started on Sakamoto Days. And after I find that fly as well, because I will take that thing out before food gets here. Sorry, no admittance for bugs. But this is where we're at with One Piece now. Everyone is about to make their way topside. And if and here's the thing. If Sanji sees that Nami and Robin have been injured in any way, Summers is getting the ever-living stuffing beaten out of him. Because if Nami says, like,
look, that guy has thorns around Robin and it's hurting her.
What? And next thing you know, Ifrit Jamba. I don't think Mosa is Jarl. Okay, so who is it then? Because the Denden Mushi takes on the appearance of the person who's talking through it. It's always a pain dealing with a fly that won't get caught. Look, it was on the wall, and all I had to do was just hit it with something, and I hit it with something soft because I'm not trying to mark up this house. Hit it with something soft, and I missed the mark by just a little bit, or I'm not fast enough, and then it just flies away again. I'm not gonna hit it with a newspaper because our walls are white. I ain't trying to have like fly guts on the wall, so I'm trying to get it. Put it this way, Mosa better not be the other Longbeard that is said to be dead. Yeah, because apparently Jarl is I don't think Jarl is the only character with a beard in One Piece. True, but he's the only character in One Piece with a beard that big. He's the only individual with a beard that big. So I still feel like this may actually be Jarl he's speaking to. That's what I feel. Some people think that he's a part of the forces allegedly invading the Holy Land. Really? Yorl? Or Jarl? Because if we mean Yorl, the one that got suplexed by Big Mom when she was a toddler, then we've all been led astray in thinking that he was dead. If it's not, I say the other long-bearded one because I forgot his name. Yeah, Jarl is currently the one that has a sword going straight through his head. Jorl, Jorul, that's the one that got pretty much fatally wounded by Big Mom. The Denden Mushi guy, whoever he might be. Ah, okay. So let's just say it's someone else entirely. Let's just say it's someone else entirely. Then there's a third party. Well, actually, Giants, Straw Hats, Holy Knights, and Emu. Yeah, there's a fourth party mixed in all of this. I think he means this Mosa is someone who is currently attacking Marijois. I got that. That much I already got. Yeah, I already got that holster. Don't worry. So we got a fourth party member who could potentially be mixed up in this Elbaf nonsense going on right now. And they could be someone else entirely. Wouldn't it be... Could wind up being the man with the burn scar. Who knows? Don't know. But we'll have to see. Overall, interesting chapter. But if what Halster... If what Cohagen said is true, then it looks like we're going to be going on break. Not only that, we also got another bit of One Piece news. The gaming section for the One Piece website has apparently an upcoming new One Piece game that is in the works that is apparently going to be announced around One Piece Day. Here's what I want it to be, and let me get it out there. 1, I would love for it to be a brand new One Piece Muso game. And if not, I would love for it to be a game patterned off of Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. A One Piece game done like that would be awesome. That's what I want. I know people are saying like, "Ooh, I want it to be Burning Blood too. I want it to be a fighting game." But I'm like, we got enough anime arena fighters already. We just got Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Let's chill on anime fighting games for a while. Let's just chill for a little while. But a new One Piece Pirate Warriors game would be awesome. A One Piece game done in the style of Grand Blue Fantasy Relink would be even better. Or just an action RPG in general. Probably not World Seeker. Let's kind of avoid trying to repeat that because we tried that once and it didn't really work out as well as they would have hoped. But that's what I want. I want either a new announcement for either a One Piece Pirate Warriors game, or maybe it's going to be news on the DLC that's coming to Pirate Warriors 4 now, along with the next-gen update. Still waiting on news for that. But I want it to be those two things. New Muso, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Action RPG. That's what I want. Hopefully it's not a gacha or mobile game, and this is coming from someone who plays Bounty Rush a lot. We don't need any more gachas. We don't need any more animes being turned into gachas. We already have Overlord that's been turned into a gacha. We already got an upcoming Kaiju number 8 game that's going to be a mobile PC gacha. We already got One Piece many times with One Piece Treasure Cruise and Bounty Rush. We already got the 7 Deadly Sins. Not only do we have Grand Cross, but we also have Origin. Don't let the gameplay fool you. That's going to be a gacha game. You already know. So we already got that. And then we got Tokyo Revengers, a game no one asked for, and that's a gacha as well. We got Jujutsu Kaisen. They made a gacha out of that as well. Can we chill on the anime gachas for a minute? I know these people seem to think that it's easy money and it's what people want, but it's not. People are tired of gachas. Don't let the success of Genshin and Wuwa and all these other gachas fool you. These are not the end-all, be-all things to give you the definitive anime series experience in game form. It's not. Keep it on consoles. Make actual games that I would happily advertise on my channel. I don't like gachas. I like Wuwa because the gameplay's good. I could care less about the gacha section. But I don't like gachas in general, and I'm tired of anime games just defaulting to that because it's like, well, we just need to work on the mobile and we don't need to worry about it. Oh yeah, is Wuwa worth playing? I finally got my PS5 started. Yes, it is. It is definitely worth playing. You don't even need to worry about messing with the gacha portion of the game because you can get by just fine without interacting with that at all. You're fine. You are definitely fine. So yeah, Wuwa is definitely worth the time. The newest update that's going to be dropping, which is 2.4, is going to be dropping on Thursday, so I'll be covering that as I normally do with all the other stuff that they have. So yeah. But yeah, it is definitely worth your time. I dabble in the gacha because I just try to get the characters. If I don't get them, hey, oh well. I still ain't dropped a single dime on the game. I just earn them and let RNG be good to me. What is going on, Ozzy? Also, thank you for being a member for as long as you have. Been a member so long, his icon has changed to like one of the upper limits of the little icon. I see I already missed out on the reaction, but what exactly is Killingham? If you're talking about the way his face looks with sharp teeth, who knows? Who knows what lineage Killingham comes from? Because a lot of people that tend to have sharp teeth in One Piece are either part fishman or they just have their teeth set that way. But yeah, that's just how I feel about One Piece games in general. And the heavy hitters are about to make some noise about time. Look, that's what I've been saying, Ozzy. We all wanted to go back to the underworld so we can finally get more on Luffy and company so they can finally go back upstairs. And now they're about to, because Imu is just nonchalantly blasting and broadcasting where they are with Haki. And that's telling everyone something ain't right. We need to get back up there. So yeah, the noise is about to be made. If you thought the giants being turned into demons and the sleep tids and people screaming and fires was any indication that things weren't already loud, it's about to get loud when one of the most unpredictable, pretty much the most, actually when you think about it, Luffy is the most unpredictable person in the entire series. When the most unpredictable and insane person in One Piece is about to make himself go back upstairs with everybody else. So that's where we're at. But also, Ozzy, I was talking about how on One Piece Day, there's supposed to be a new One Piece game announced, like a brand new game. And I was just saying what I would like for it to be, either a brand new Muso game or a game done, or an action RPG done like Relink. So that's what I said. But I'm going to go ahead and he gives 0. Yeah, Luffy does not care. The first instance was when he punched Charlos directly in the face. Actually, before that was when he told Usopp to set fire to the world government flag in Eni's lobby in front of everybody. Then after that was punching Charlos. I don't know, I'd argue Blackbeard and Buggy can be just as unpredictable. Buggy is unpredictable by happenstance. Blackbeard is unpredictable because he plays things close to the chest. He doesn't reveal everything. So, when I would put Luffy and Blackbeard as the most unpredictable. Luffy and Blackbeard are the most unpredictable people in the entire series. Buggy is unpredictable. No, it's not even Buggy who's unpredictable. It's his own crewmates who are unpredictable. Because half of the stuff that happens to Buggy is because of the dumb stuff his crew does that we don't find out until the second before they reveal it. And it's like, even he didn't even know. So it's really those in Buggy's crew that are unpredictable, and he's just getting dragged for the ride. So it's really all them inmates from Impel Down. But yeah, I said my piece about the chapter. I said my piece about One Piece video games. I really hope it's not a gacha or a fighting game. No offense to fighting games, but we got enough of it. I mean, we also got to think about it longevity-wise for fighting games, because how many people are still playing Jujutsu Curse Clash? The appeal wears off after a while. How many people are still playing Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash? I hear nothing. I don't hear anything at all. I don't hear nobody. No one's answering. That's what I mean. So, while fighting games are nice and all, their appeal can only go so far. So, I really hope for either a new Muso or an action RPG. That's what I hope for. That's what I hope for. A full-fledged action RPG, if you will. If it's as close to Relink as possible, it will be the greatest One Piece game. But I said everything that I needed to say. I need to go ahead and bring it to a close because I've been talking for about a good 54 minutes. We're getting close to an hour of just me talking. So Sorry about that, everybody. I need to get started with Sakamoto Days, but first I'm gonna find that fly downstairs. And the super on most of those fighting games are a little underwhelming. Yeah, with an action RPG, how powerful you are is predicated on how powerful your character actually is, rather than being we got to limit characters who can move at the speed of light so that a person who doesn't even have a devil fruit power and no hockey is capable of standing a chance against them. So it's suspension of disbelief, But that's just me. Him getting beat by Luffy in Orange Town led to meeting Alvida and then getting the better of Luffy. Same with getting captured and put in Emperor down led to getting all those underlings. That's just luck. That is not unpredictable. That is just... Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm reading what you said beforehand. It's more like Buggy's luck is unpredictable. Like, no matter what situation he's in, he gets some sort of positive out of it every single time. And it's dumbfounding to him because he doesn't even understand how all of this is happening. So yeah, it's not even Buggy, it's Buggy's luck that's unpredictable for him. So it's not even something that he has a direct impact on. It's just dumb luck that's unpredictable for him. But yeah, I said everything I needed to say. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I took so long. This was a big chapter. And now we get the big peoples, the big guns, the heavy hitters as they're preparing to go back to the Sun World and deal with all the nonsense that's up there. Because I highly doubt that Elbaf is going to be completely subjugated despite Emu being here. Highly doubt that even after all is said and done, Elbaf is still going to be free from the control of the world government. However, I wonder how things are going to progress when things go quiet for Elbaf and the Straw Hats leave. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. Sincerely, though, thank you for all the support you guys have shown me over these years. Thank you. Later, peoples.